Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I am your favorite armchair GM, CJ.
And I am your favorite couch scout extraordinaire, Tony. Come on, one time with the pink eye.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord. Okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing. So, hey, there you go. That's my Tony
What's
on
good?
screen.
What's good, cuz?
Hey, you know what, man? It's been one of them weeks already back at work. Had a few days off, and everybody feels like they want to break everything the past 2 days. So, but other than that, it's been good, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, just the weather is changing here, man. So you got a lot of dust and sand and all kind of humidity is, changing. I don't have allergies like my wife does, but it hit me this past week. I ain't never had pink eye before. But
Mm-hmm.
that damn sure feel like I was coming down with it yesterday. So that's why I'm not on camera today to join you fellas. But as always, I am up and available.
Okay, all right. Now you sure she ain't reach over and slap the crap out of you one good time?
Come on, player. Come on, player.
All right, I
Let's not
digress.
try
I'm
to be
sorry.
funny.
Hey,
Thank
I had to throw that in there. My bad, my bad. You know how I am.
you. Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
with
know.
the
I
shits and
know.
giggles.
This ignorant as always. This ignorant as always.
This is true. Yeah. Hey, but let me tell you, hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. All right. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Like us at all social media, on all social media, excuse me, at Two Fans in the Stands, and on what we like to call Twix. That's a mixture of Twitter and X at Two Fans ITS. And we appreciate everybody that is joining us tonight. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
start off with a little bit of news from OTA. Okay,
What you got?
so so Xavier Leggett sat out today. They tweaked his hamstring, and from what I can hear
Yeah,
from the
I saw that.
Panthers, they Canales said he was moving kind of slow yesterday, and so they held him out today, as a precaution. Okay, I've seen a lot of different varying opinions on this. From it's no big deal, better to have it now than later. To oh my God, it's he's injury prone. Hamstrings are no joke. So
They weren't saying he was injury prone, were they? They saying that already?
I think if you read between the lines, I didn't see anybody type he's injury prone, but
Oh,
they
okay.
might as well have. They might as
Just
well
reading
have.
the tea
It's like
leaves.
I was reading the tea leaves. Yes, yes, the world was crashing
Gotcha.
down already because he sat out one practice. So hey,
Right.
it's what it is. Yeah. What you think,
Not
Tony?
not 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 that they want to protect their first round pick. No, it ain't that. They want to go
Hmm.
ahead and rush him now OTAs, no matter how he
Yeah,
feeling, just to have him on the field so Panther Nation can say he was on the field. Not that it's important to take care of his health. So, he could be there during the regular season. No, that's asking too much, seems like. I got it.
yeah, yeah. Hey, and you know what, Tony? Hold on a second. I'm tripping. You know what? Let me go through the comments. Let me shout out everybody that's in here. All right. Yeah, Nate said
Yeah.
Tony and CJ keep pounding. Thank you. How you doing?
What's good, Nader?
Rock Jones is in the beat drop. What's good, cousins? Another great show ahead.
Rocky
Appreciate y'all.
Rock.
Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, my boy.
And the dog. What's going on? My new favorite artist. How
Yeah,
you doing,
you
Panther
dirty
dog?
summer gun. Now, what's up, Panther dog? Hey, he
Oh
got me
goodness,
though. I ain't got no
man.
comeback. Hey, hey,
That was a good
hey,
one.
you got me on that one, dog. You got me. You win.
That
You
was a good one.
dirty mo fracky.
Cha 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 once. Ayo, CJ Tony, salute. Hey, salute to you, cha cha cha.
What's up, cha
Appreciate you.
cha cha?
Appreciate you. Roger Jones said you would put in that clip of Excel Moss and that QB from UNC. Hey, we love the Tar Heels, but at the end of the day, we still won that game. So take
What
that for
clip?
what you want, Rock.
I
Of
mean, yeah, Rock.
Leggett. Leggett in the intro. The clip from Leggett was when
Oh, 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 yeah,
they
yeah,
play
yeah, 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 yeah,
UNC.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that was the first game of the season this past season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, if I ain't
You
mistaken,
said Carolina won that game, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a few Leggett clips out of there for us Panther fans. You know, All Hill Nation stood up. It's all good. It's all good. It's
Already.
all said. Eek. Talk about your eye, Tony.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see that.
goodness.
Yeah.
Paul, how you doing? Paul, man, says a good evening,
What's
fellas.
up,
What's the word on
Paul?
the current status of our Panthers? Let me tell you right now, the current status seems to be, for me, from what I get from Canal is, hey, that man just going with the flow right now. He is just going with the flow. He's answering questions. If he has an answer, he answers. If he doesn't have an answer, and they say any update on so and so, nope, and he moves on.
But
So,
you know what?
hey,
I love Canales' energy, man. Canales, if
mm-hmm,
if you pay attention to Canales now and go back and watch some highlights of when Pete Carroll was at USC, he
mm,
has that same kind of energy, man. And Pete Carroll has carried the same energy throughout his career. I mean, even
sure
Pete
has
Carroll, 70 something years old, still got that same energy, still go through almost like 2 packs of gum each game,
that
you
part.
know, taking his shirt off, high fiving players. I mean, just all kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff is infectious. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
your players see you as a player's coach, as a real person, someone they can
Yeah.
relate to, come and talk to, regardless if it's about football or not. But it creates that comfortability, with the coach,
Hmm.
and then hopefully throughout the coaching staff. So I think that's a
Yeah.
great thing, man. I love
Yeah.
his energy. And I love to hear him
Hmm.
talk ball. I love to hear him break down stuff without giving
Yeah.
away anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he when the reporters ask questions, I think sometimes they're used to, okay, I'm gonna ask this question, I'm gonna throw it out here. I know I ain't gonna get much. I think sometimes they're like, oh, okay, thank you, coach. Wasn't expecting that, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It's just that's the vibe I get from 'em. But
Yeah.
until ink meets paper, fist meets jaw, rubber meets the road. We got it's still a wait and see game. All right.
All those analogies,
Oh,
huh?
hold on. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me get ready for this. Hump Day. What's up, Mr. Hunky Dory? How you doing?
What's up, Mr. Hunky Dory? What's good with you?
Yeah. Paul again said, always worry about big muscle skill players like XL has and pulling hamstrings, quads, groins, etc. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's hope that this is just as minor as they're making it out to be right now. So we just hope for the best. Let me
I get
see.
I get what he I get what he's saying, but a lot
Mhm.
of that, regardless if you're a big muscle player, well, a big person or a small person, whatever, stretching is key.
Mhm.
Stretching is key.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna
Okay,
say.
it is. Miss Hunky Doris, X has been pushing himself without enough rest. All players and people reach that level and need a day off, stress on the body and soul. And Canales did mention that. He said it's a thing that
Facts.
rookies get to the NFL. When you get hit, everybody is fast. Okay,
Yeah.
even the players that might not be high up on the roster, they still fast. So
Yep.
he's going all out. And like Mr. Hunky Dory said, it might be a combination of pushing too hard, not enough rest, but hopefully they'll get him right. And I'm sure they're gonna sit him down as long as they have to make sure that he's ready to go for the season. And I don't
No,
have any issues with that at all. Yep. Let's
no
see.
need to panic. Just OTAs. No
Yeah,
need to panic.
exactly. Nine dime all the time. What's up, homies?
Nah,
Chip
dime.
Miles and free money for Gilly.
Shit, man, forget. That's not a bad concept though. Why you playing though, nine dime?
Yeah. Mhm.
Hey, if you really want to shore up that cornerback position and you really want to get Stephon Gilmore in the building, I believe there are moves that can be made. This is why I think they reserve doing restructuring Taylor Moton contract early on in free
Mhm.
agency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of that money that
Mhm.
that needs to be available to go after some of the players that either through free agency or some of the players
Mhm.
that's going to get waived. Because we are
Mhm.
first on the waiver wire through the first 4 weeks of the season. So
Right.
it's always good to have a little something extra in the war chest when things come up.
Yeah, this is true. Because restructuring Taylor Moton's contract, according to spot tracking over the cap, I want to say it will free up at least $8 to $10 million, if
Six,
I'm not mistaken.
I think yeah, 6.5, $7 million, something like that.
Okay, maybe I'm being hopeful, so we'll see. But I think some moves to be made is you
Yeah,
know
no doubt.
who wants to and who doesn't want to make these moves is I think the question right now. But hey, I am
Mm,
armchair GM, so I'm sitting here talking to all these beautiful people out here. So yeah, I don't know. All right,
facts.
Kevin Hubbard, Panthers Nation had to come over here. Goat man, tell me what you do to goat man. Yeah, what
Hey,
you do to goat?
hey, Kev. Hey, yeah, you got to tell us about that one, Kevin. You
Yeah,
got
man, you gotta tell what you did to goat man.
yeah,
Oh
over there
Lord, hey,
pissing goat off, man. Don't be doing that, Kevin.
yeah, man. Hey, we appreciate you stopping by though. Carl D said, "What's up, fellas? Me and my cousin started a podcast last draft, and we would love to collaborate one day. I've been a little lazy this season, though. Hey, well, hit us up. You can find us on Twitter or X at two fans its, and you can hit us up at two fans in the stands at gmail.com. Okay, so yeah, just hit us up,
Yeah, no
man.
doubt.
We love to have y'all on the show. All right,
Yeah, no
Big
doubt,
Rich
Carl.
homie, Uncle Quan, what's going on, man? How you doing? Salute,
What's
brother.
going on, Quan? Top of the day to you, my boy.
Man, there's still no answers on Gilmore. Nope. Mm-mm. I think
Nope.
it's just a waiting game, and who they playing chicken right now, and hey, whoever turned first.
You
So
know, it could be one of those things where they already have something lined up. Y'all have to remember Gilmore, 34 years old. He ain't trying to go through all these OTAs and
hmm
mini camps and stuff like that. Training camp
yeah,
is when I'm waiting to hear something about Stephon Gilmore. I do not expect him to come in any sooner than that. That's just my
okay,
personal opinion.
I can agree with that. What's up, Doug? So what's going on, big
What
cuz? I
up,
had to
Doug?
stop by and show y'all some love. I miss Panther Nation. We'll be back June 17th. Everybody be safe and keep pounding. Yes, sir. And Doug, you be safe out
Already.
there too, brother. Be safe, man. Appreciate you stopping through. Comment season. Gilmore won't like to sign with any team until, until that's the big question. Let me see. Digit herpes is infectious too, so I've been told. Oh God. Okay.
Uh, Aha,
Well,
dig that was not funny. Aha.
until July, when camps are about to start, Panthers will need to restructure a couple players, current contracts to free up cap space. Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, no
Phase
doubt.
4, all I know is the thicker kicker is going to be our new kicker, and Eddie's on the way out. Hey, okay. You know what? Let me get through a few more of these comments and catch up, and we'll talk about Harrison Mevis in a second too. All right, Miss Hunky
Yeah.
Dory. 25 years ago, we had a new coach, Seifert. Moving on from Capers, we went 4-12 in '98, and with the new coach, we went 8-8. Hey, we can only hope. Let's hope.
We can
Say
only
it was
hope.
nice to see Thomas Davis on the field. Yeah, I did see a picture of him out the other day.
Yeah, no
So
doubt. Yeah, he was
I'm
talking to
hoping that
Jonathan
he's
Brooks.
oh, okay. Look, I need him to slide on over to the linebacker room and make sure he passes on, some of his knowledge to them as well.
Yeah, go
It's
holler
hunky
at
dory.
Josie
There's a
Jewell.
rumor of trading Sanders to Chargers, maybe for a fifth or sixth round pick. It was on Cat Crave, I believe. Hey, you know what? Let me tell you. Um, the running back room is full, and I won't be surprised if some kind of move is made because if they feel good enough about Jonathan Brooks and feel that he's going to be ready to go for the start of the season, you know, we may not keep four running backs. So at this
Mm,
point, I'm expecting things to be totally different than what we're used to as far as Panther football, training camp, off season, who stays, who goes. Okay, I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh man, I was not expecting that person to go," and then someone probably going to be pretty happy. So we'll see, we'll see.
mhm.
Kevin said you told him he's negative about everything. He need to find another team. Okay. That may have done it. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
that
All
might have
right.
done it,
It
Kevin.
might.
Hey, you need to come on back on over to fans and stands, man.
Hey, let go cool off, man. Then go back over there and talk to him.
Yeah.
Paul said Gilmore would expect about 7.5 to 8 million per year, with maybe incentives to go to 10 if certain stats are reached, games played, ints, etc., etc. Yes, yes, and I think adding
True.
incentives into the contract will be one of the Panthers' best friends with whatever they do with anybody that they try to bring in from here on out. Because right now we don't have a whole lot of cap.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt.
Let me see. Oh, I forgot about Rashad Penny. They just say I still think that Penny signing will light a fire under Sanders. You know what? Let's hope so. We're gonna get to talk about Miles Sanders in a minute too. Let me see. Chargers have little to no cap space to afford to take on Sanders' contract unless Panthers are willing to pay a good chunk of it. And to be honest, Sanders is not the tough physical type of running back that Harbaugh likes. You know what? All good point. All good points. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
that's true.
We'll see. Let me see. Mo Legion. What's
Matter
up,
of fact,
fellas? Hey, how you
well,
doing, Mo?
I think
Good.
San Diego signed two other running backs during off season. Don't they have Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins? They got both of them
Yeah,
running backs from the
yeah.
Ravens.
Did they draft a running back too? On my trip.
I'm not sure. They still have the young boy they got from UCLA a couple years
Uh
ago.
Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Josh
think it's
Kelly.
Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Rock Jones
No, I'm
said
not UCLA. Tennessee. I think Josh Kelly went to Tennessee,
okay.
if I'm not
I
mistaken.
said
Yeah.
cornerback 31 looks smooth and fast in OTAs. Think it's L Jackson. L Jackson.
Lamar
L
Jackson. Lamar Jackson. Yeah, we got
hmm.
a cornerback named Lamar Jackson. He was on the
Oh,
practice squad
okay.
last year.
Oh, forgot all about him. I'm sitting there like,
Yeah,
okay. Let me see. Notice I think we're going to keep Sanders the way head coach talking about being a running team. Yeah. So I mean,
that's a
like I
good
said,
point too.
yeah. But like I said, nothing will surprise me. But you know what? To your point, Nate, he did say that he likes to run plays for certain players that work better for certain players. You know,
Right,
so the
right.
more options that he has, that may be something he likes to deal with. So we never know. We don't know. Okay. So now let's get back to Harrison Mevis, the thicker kicker, as Tony will not say.
Not
But
gonna do it.
uh they did say that I think he was perfect in practice today. And I think what did Tony, he hit one from about 60 yards, if
His
I'm not
long,
mistaken,
yeah,
58,
his
60
long was
yards.
60 yards. Yeah, 60.
Hmm, okay. And when asked about Eddie Pinero, okay, um, Canales, they said, "Do you have an update on Pinero?" Nope. He said that he's doing what he needs to do, whatever that means. But like we
Yeah,
were talking about before, Tony, it's OTAs. You know, don't really,
yeah.
don't look too much into it. If he's there for the mandatory camp, hey, all right, then we'll see what's what. Okay.
Right. Now that's where you want to get a little worried. If he don't show up for mandatory minicamp, then yeah,
Mhm,
you can officially say there's a problem somewhere. But right now for voluntary OTAs, I'm not putting any stock in it right now. The only thing I'm getting out of it, it allows Harrison Mevis to shine. You know what I'm saying? Because he's getting
mhm,
all the kicking reps. He's getting a, chance to make, a first impression on the coaches, the whole staff, teammates, and everything. So when it does roll around for mandatory minicamp or training camp, there's really going to be a position battle. But
mhm.
probably more so than what people initially thought. But if this guy keeps shining like he's shining right now, hey, Eddie P may be out of out of a job.
Hey, good.
A cost effective move to get a kicker that's just as good as you are for less. I mean,
Mhm,
makes sense already.
yeah. And I mean, it's crazy because Eddie Pinero's contract is not that much. I think it's total of like $1.8 million. So yeah, like you said, even still
Okay.
though, it would be cheaper. It would be cheaper.
Right.
Let me see. Panther Dog, what do y'all think about Coach calling TMJ fast today? And I did not watch the entire interview, so I did not hear that part. But I hope, I hope, I hope that means that Terrace Marshall Jr. is improving. That's all I can hope for. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, he didn't go like he didn't really go that much into it. What I took from it is
Hmm.
that he's able to absorb the playbook better. So when you know the playbook or when the
Hmm.
playbook has been simplified for you, you can go out there and play faster. That makes
Gotcha.
sense? Like
Yeah, I got
when you know what you're supposed to do, you can go out there and run your routes and you can play without thinking. The minute you go out there and you start thinking before before each rep, that slows you
you. Hmm.
down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It really
fact.
slows you down, so having the playbook simplified for him, knowing exactly what his position is going to be, whether it's the X, the Z, the Y, the slot, whatever the case may be, he may be
Mm,
focusing on just one position and mastering that one position. So if he can do that, then yeah, he should play a lot faster because the thinking game of it is taken out of the equation.
yeah. Now, I don't know what process Frank Wright and Thomas Brown went through when they were teaching everybody the offense last season. Okay. They never really got in depth about that at all, which they shouldn't, because you don't want to give away too much. But it seems like, well, not seems like, Canales has said, they're doing everything that they can now. They're starting with the basics, okay. And once they get the basics
Right.
down, get everything mastered, they're moving up. They're adding little bit by little bit by little bit, and then they're gradually, progressing. Which, when you put the common sense element into it, that's how things usually go in life when you're learning stuff. Okay, you get the basics down pat, and then you start adding other skills and things into it and whatnot. But my question is, was that not the case last year? And not trying to throw any shots at Frank Wright or anybody on that old coaching staff at all. Okay, but I'm wondering if the players are having a easier time learning this new offense than they did last year, just in general.
It may be. I you know, with the dysfunction that was in the organization last year, and it was very much publicized. We saw it throughout the year. Of course, again, it was not what we thought it was going to be when they put this quote unquote dream team together. So if
Hmm.
you got dysfunction in the higher ranks and it has trickulated down to the coaching staff, it's definitely going to continue rolling downhill to the players. So with that situation, anything was possible, and it was
True,
nothing good.
true. This is very true. All right. Also, I can see Sanders fitting in with teams like the Vikings, Jaguars, Patriots, Bengals, Chiefs, and Cowboys, who could use depth at running back, but not at his current contract level. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. He said Eddie already in SL. Okay, you had to tell me what SL is. I'm
What
I'm I'm a little slow.
what's that sell?
Yeah, I'm a little slow. I'm sorry, Native.
That shit is that the
I
shit
haven't looked
list?
at. Maybe, maybe. I haven't looked at OTA or news, so keep me informed if you got time. Hey, that's what we here for. Paul says, I believe the Panthers will look to acquire cornerback James Bradbury from the man. Hell no. Or for wide receiver TMJ, if the Gilmore deal hits a dead end, Eagles would have to pay some of Bradbury's contract. Man, let me tell you. St. St. Louis. Okay. Okay, God, thanks, Paul. But man, let me tell you, they keep James Bradbury. I'm good on him. I think you go to somebody like Adoree Jackson who's still out there, or or do whatever you can to bring Gilmore in. Yeah, I'm good on Bradbury.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
good on. Okay, all right. So, Icky also got up on the stage and he said that he was kind of still riding on the coattails of his rookie year, of the success of his rookie year, if I got that right. Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. That's what
know,
he said.
so what did he say, Tony? Because I think you told it to me earlier in a little more detail than what I remember.
Well, no, I mean, because I didn't really fully understand what he was saying because he chose not to elaborate on
Hmm.
last year. All he was saying that um he was riding the coattail of his rookie season. And I think it was Sheena Quick that asked him a question, if I'm not mistaken. Chat, y'all can let me know if you watched the press conference. But she asked him something about last year. He kept saying that, he didn't want to get too much into last year. Basically, there was nothing that can't be fixed. He says 100% fixable. They got a plan. He loves the fact that they're going to run the ball more because it plays to his strength as far as run
Hmm.
blocking. Dave Canales even mentioned about even when you um when they oh my god, can't get my thought out. When they anyway, I'll come back to it. It come back to me.
Yeah,
But
I got
basically,
you.
yeah, playing to his strengths,
Mhm.
play action. That's what I was trying to say. Even with
Uh,
them running play action, it still allows a lineman to get their hands on a defensive lineman instead of always, pass protecting, when
mhm.
they kick stepping back in the pass pro. So he believes that
Yeah.
this offense is going to definitely play to his strength and allow him to go back and have a year like he did his rookie season. But he is adamant about not speaking on last year. They tried 2 or 3 times to get him to talk about it. He was like,
Mhm.
"Nah, I ain't going there, player. Good try."
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, well, cool. Well, we'll get in. We'll talk about Icky a little more later as well. Earl Lockley, what's going on? How you doing, man? Glad you joined us. Appreciate you being here. All right, Paul said Eagles drafted 2 cornerbacks and Bradbury is on the trading block. Eagles needed wide receiver 3/4, so TMJ will finally get a good opportunity with a solid coaching staff and offensive team. Man, let me tell you. Okay, all right. People call us, Bryce fans, Bryce sexuals, whatever you want to call us. Let me tell you, I am pulling for TMJ. Okay, I think he's got a crap deal with the Panthers since he has been here. First season he was
Yeah,
hurt, and then just not being utilized um later in Rule's tenure, and then he was kind of on the outs with Steve Wilkes when he was interim coach. Didn't get much burn last year. I just I really want to see, because this will be what his 4th year, right? Yeah, because this is last year,
yeah. This
right?
is fourth year in the league.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would really like to see him get an opportunity to try and improve himself. Okay, and that's just coming from me personally. I really think that this may be the year where he can get it. He can get a chance, but everybody seems to think that he is the most likely one, to be cut. I've seen a lot of people putting their the wide receiver room together, and they've got Johnson, Thielen, Leggett. Then you have Smith Marset, and then I see like Jalen Coke. Okay. So a lot of people
yeah.
believe that TMJ is probably not even gonna make the 53-man roster. But I do hope he gets a chance. That's just me personally. But yeah.
I
But
believe
we'll
it will. And like you
mhm,
said, he just needs that opportunity. He needs someone that believes in him that's going to give him a fair shot. I don't believe he's received that ever since his rookie year. Now, mind you, he did come into the league with a few nagging injuries that kind of held him back the first year and a half. But once he got over those injuries, we saw how his production got better under Steve Wilkes. And ever since Steve Wilkes left, before Steve Wilkes and after Steve Wilkes, we basically ain't heard from TMJ. But with Steve Wilkes being the coach, TMJ showed you the kind of playmaking ability that he has when given opportunity. So I just think, like you said, it's about someone believing in him and giving him a true opportunity to shine and show the skills that he's capable of. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
You know what? And Paul, I forgot about Mingo. Damn, I swear, forgot all about Jonathan Mingo. Yes, Thielen, Johnson, Mingo, Xavier Leggett, and then there's going to be a fight for them last couple spots, depending on how many receivers that they decide to keep. Yeah, I swear, my bad, Mister Mingo. I swear I forgot all about you, dog. I forgot all about you. He also said, I like TMJ too, but I believe he needs a fresh start with a new team to reach his potential. It's his final year on his rookie deal, and just don't see it happening in Charlotte, where snaps are going to Thielen. Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah. Well, you know what? And and that might be the case. That might be the case. But in whatever happens, I do hope he gets a chance. If it's not Wills, I do hope he gets a chance with somebody.
Go
I've
yeah,
always liked TM.
go to that next comment, Mr. Hunkadori.
If TMJ ever wants a chance to get the next level, he better jump ship and do while healthy and young. Hey,
That's a fact. And but you know
mhm,
what? On that note, Mr. Hunkadori, this is the time where this is the year that he will want to get a chance to show and prove because this will be a year audition for the other 31 teams in the league. So if Carolina decide not to do give him extension or redo his deal at the end of summer, he will hopefully have enough on tape to where he would get the opportunity somewhere else. So this
yeah,
season is paramount for him
mhm,
to show and prove and have longevity and to get a second contract in this league.
yeah. Yeah. Let me swing back up to Panther Dog's comment. He's talking about Icky. He said he didn't take advantage of reaching out to the coaching staff to get improvement on his plan. He said he is now. They watch his entire year of film from last year, and they're helping him. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, he did say that. But it when he said that, it made me scratch my head because it's like, what was the relationship like with Dave Campion? What was the relationship like with Frank Wright and other coaches on that coaching staff? Because Icky never came off. He never came across to me as someone being like standoffish or not asking
yeah.
for help when he needs help, or not watching film. Whatever the case may be, and I never got that negative feeling about him coming from his rookie season. And like you said, he don't want to talk about last year. So it may be things that happened that transpired, not only with his play on the field, but his relationship with the coaching staff and things like that. That he was like, you know what? There's no need to even talking about it anymore. We're just gonna wash 2023 away. It is what it is. We're just gonna keep going and move forward. So it may be something that we just don't know about, but I just don't feel like that's in his character to just do that without having a legitimate reason.
Yeah. But could you imagine the disorder that the team was in for him to feel like that? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's wild.
yeah,
It's wild to think about that. It's to me anyway.
yeah.
It's wild. Let me see. Paul said, I believe Coach Campen checked out in 2023 as he didn't like the Wright Brown scheme. You know what? That may very well have been the situation. You never know.
Hold
You
on,
see.
hold on, Tuesday. Before you read that last one, listen, it's
Mm,
54 people watching live right now. Only 19 likes. Do us a favor, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Hit that post notification bell so you'll be made aware whenever we go live and drop new content and get those likes up. We'll greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Thank
CJ.
All right. Let me see. Digit said Coker is going to the practice squad. Um, Let me tell you. Um, I think Coker has a legitimate shot at making the roster. I really do.
Yeah.
It just depends on who's not going to make the roster. So we'll see. Said Icky looks good though, looks fresh and strong and in shape. Yes, yeah. He's never been one that looked like he wasn't prepared. To play. But we gotta see. We gotta see what he do. PPP Panther Prime Podcast with the $2 super chat. He said, "What's good, my
Prime,
brother?
what's
What's
happening?
good there?
What's
Apostle
good with
Crush,
you, my guy?
in Chun. Yes, sir. Apostle Crush in the building. Hey, thank you, man. We really appreciate you, dog. We appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
All right. Let me see. Let me see. Digit said there are just so many chairs in the wide receiver room. Yes, yes, it's very crowded.
That's a good
Very
thing.
crowded. Yeah, it
Competition.
is. It is.
Competition.
It is. It's just you get to that point where it's just like, all right, there's so many of them in here. Let's make sure we pick the right one. Because
Oh
it could
yeah.
be a situation like, oh, we didn't get this dude, then they go to another system. Next thing you know, they over there balling out, and we're like, damn, we missed out. So, hopefully
Hey,
they make
well,
the
I
right
mean,
decision.
hey, listen, no, no, it happens. It happens.
It
Just
happens to us
because
a lot.
somebody don't make, yeah, just because somebody don't make our team, don't mean they're not gonna go somewhere. Well, we have been, we have been the receivers of somebody else's misfortune. Look at Frankie Louvu. What happened with him with the Jets? Came to Carolina, balled out, even though he's gone now. But I mean, we had him for what 3, 4 years.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it goes both ways.
yeah, like Prime said, like Tariq Cohen to the Jets. Yes, 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 exactly.
Prime,
You know what?
Prime just Prime just wants some engagement on that. I'm not about to give him that.
Hey, but you know what though, man? Hey, I wish all the best to Tariq Cohen. I hope he can resurrect his career, and get things going. Hopefully just not when we play the Jets in the preseason.
Well,
I hope
let's
he goes
let's
out there and does nothing, but
let's just be real. The New York Jets running back room is better than our running back room. So if he didn't make it here, what are going to be the chances of him making it in New York? Now they give him a look, give him opportunity. And I hate to
uh,
say it because I'm a Tariq Cohen fan, but I'm just looking at it from the reality standpoint. Is that hey, you got a long shot. There's a 98% chance that you don't make the roster for the Jets. If you do, hats off to him. I'm a root for him, because I'm a big fan of an underdog. But the
mhm.
facts are the facts, though.
Yeah. But special teams though, special team. I don't know who's returning punts and kicks for the Jets, but there's always that special teams, and they may find a few gadget plays or a few plays here and there. Feature him if he does good and may
Okay.
make the team, where he can get in
Oh,
there.
okay, Bishop. Okay, Bishop. I see you trying to stick it for Prime. I get you. I get you.
Hey, but you know what though? What did we just get through saying, Tony? What did we just get through saying? If we don't keep a player, they go to another situation, they may have the possibility to shine over there. What do I always
Eh,
say? What do I always say? You never know.
Yeah, but
You never know.
I'm about 99% sure that this ain't gonna happen. I give you the other
Yeah.
1%. I'll let you hold on
No,
to
you
that.
don't you don't have to let me hold on to it. The other 1% is that you never know.
Uh,
Okay?
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Because my thing is, you say you 100% sure, then damn it, what's the lottery numbers? And then we can shut down two fans in stands and go circle the globe for the rest of our
Yeah.
lives.
I didn't say 100%. So I don't know
All
what we're talking about
right,
now.
hey, okay, all right, all right. So I wanted to get into one more thing from OTAs before we get into the main topic tonight. So I wanted to play this right here too. Okay, this seems to be this seems to be throwing people to a little bit of a frenzy too today. And I got this clip off of X. Credit to Sheena quick. She put this clip of Bryce Young. Okay, so all right. So let me play that clip one more time. All right. So can anybody tell me what looks different about Bryce Young in that particular clip? All right, Tony.
He looks a little bigger.
All right, that is not what I was going for. Okay, but not what I was going for. His footwork. His footwork.
Oh
Take a look.
God.
Take a look one more time. All right. Look at his footwork. All right. Stepping back, planting his
So
plant
he
foot,
looks,
throwing.
but basically for me, the only thing that I really see there, I can't remember what the drop back is called, but what anyway. Um So he when he came into the league, he had a old school traditional drop back where he didn't either turn, when he dropped back, he didn't turn left or turn right. Well, he's a right-handed passer, so he didn't turn sideways in his drop back. His drop back was
Mhm,
just straight drop back, which allowed him to see more of the field without any head movement. I forgot what they used to do it back in the NFL back in the days. I can't remember exactly what the drop back was called. But to me it just looked like they just changed his drop back. His throwing motion is still the same. He still throws over the top. He can't he's too short to be throwing 3 quarters or
mhm,
sidearm, side motion. His
yeah,
throwing motion has always been over the top. So yeah, I'm not gonna I right now I can't get into that because it's easy for players to work on what they need to work on during the off season, during OTAs, during mini camps. But can you stick to what you've been working on and what you've learned when the live bullets start flying? If you ever notice, a lot of these quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, they come out with these nice throwing motions. They look good with in their shorts and t-shirts, but when in a
mhm,
live game, they always revert back to what they're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm,
that's what I want to see. I want to see whatever he's learning right now, how it's going to translate on game day. So saying that his throwing motion has changed and getting all excited about it right now, I'm for me, it's not going to do anything for me. I want to see how that translate on game day when those live bullets start flowing. Then I can say,
mhm,
okay, he took what he learned this summer and what the coaches have implemented, and he took that to heart and he really put it into his game and to make a difference in his game.
yes. But and I will expand on that a little bit and say I do like the fact that they're working on it with him because I saw another clip on Twitter and I should have added that on here too, but I got busy. And they compared a clip of him throwing in camp or in OTAs last year to that clip right there. And you can see in the clip where he's back like this and he's got that little bounce and he's throwing, while he's kind of going backwards a little bit. And you saw that a lot with Bryce this past season. He gets the ball and instead
Yeah.
of him, kind of dropping back, taking his steps, planting his feet, even with some of his throws where he didn't have a whole lot of pressure, he was still launching the ball, off of his back foot. And like I said, what's good to see is that they've recognized this and they're starting to with that, work with him on that early. And like you said, when the bullets start flying, that's when we really see if he's learned anything, or like you said, or if he goes back to what he's comfortable with. But from my perspective as a fan, I think it's good to see that they're actually out there doing, hey, this is what we saw. This is what we don't want you to do. Let's go ahead and work on this. So I, I'm
Right.
I'm I'm
Right.
I'm like you. You know, we gotta wait and see. But I am glad to see that they're doing something about it or trying to do something about it. 'Cause we won't know if it worked or
Right.
not until hell, at least we get some footage of like from camp or whatever. That's this is if we be allowed to go and watch camp this year. And and that's another thing. Okay, so now the Jets are coming to Charlotte. When they play us in preseason, they're having joint practices against the Panthers. Okay, won't be down in Spartanburg. It'll be here in Charlotte. And if you watched our last live, we talked about the whole um practice field thing. When they had the renderings of the new covering, the new field house for one field, and they're
Right.
going to have two more outdoor fields. You know, I was talking to Doug a little bit earlier, and I'm just like, if they do joint practice, okay, unless they truck in some bleachers from somewhere or have some kind of a plan, that they just haven't said anything about yet, there's going to be no room for anybody but the media to be out there watching joint practice. Okay, unless they hold joint practice in the stadium. And I guess the only thing about that is they would have to have offense on one side at 50, defense on the other side. But then they usually have the three fields like down in Wofford, because you have offense, defense on separate fields, and then you have special teams. So who knows? Who knows? But if you haven't heard,
Right.
joint practice with the Jets in Charlotte. I think it's the second preseason game when they come to town. All right. So, but you know what though? You know what though, Tony? I am looking forward to it because remember last year. I don't know if it was I don't know if the Jets were on Hard Knocks last year or if it was just a clip
I think
somebody
they
had.
were. I think no, I
Yeah,
think they
and
were on Hard Knocks last year.
Yeah, and Quentin Williams was like, "Man, I done got 10 sacks already." Because it was during the
Yeah.
drills, but they weren't really tackling. He was like, "Dog," he's
Right.
like, "I done sacked them about 10 times already." And we were just like, yeah, whatever, whatever. And then here we go to the first game of the
Exactly.
season, second play. Bryce gets planted in the dirt by the second string defensive end. So, hey, yeah.
Yep. Remember all too
Mhm.
well.
Yep. Jerome Castro, that was Cam's big problem, in my opinion, throwing off his back foot. It
Facts.
was. It was. It
Facts.
was. It was his biggest problem, but he made up for it a lot with arm strength. Okay. Bryce does not have Cam Newton's arm. They're not even in the same universe. Okay. So Bryce
Not
has to work on his footwork. Huh? What you say, Tony?
nothing, nothing. Go ahead. No, no,
Oh,
nothing.
but
Nothing. Go ahead.
okay. But Bryce, he's got to work on his footwork. That can't be his limitation. That can't be the thing that we're like, his footwork is still crap. No, he's got to get that together. And I'm glad you brought up Cam because I always hated when Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator that season when TJ Watt speared him in the shoulder. I was to me, that was the best I've ever seen Cam Newton throw. You could tell they took the offseason and worked on his footwork. Cam was back there. I mean, he was throwing darts. He looked good. And I always hate the way that season ended for him because that was that same season where there was a Hail Mary attempt and at halftime. It was at home. I forgot who he was playing. Taylor Heineke had to come in the game and make that attempt because Cam Newton couldn't throw the ball to the end zone. But yeah, I always hate that they didn't work on that with him earlier in his career. And the year that they did was the year they jacked. He got his shoulder jacked up pretty much for good. But yeah, but thanks for the comments, Ron. We appreciate you. All right, so let's get to our main topic here. Okay, I put a couple polls out on X and YouTube. Okay, and I asked a couple questions. All right, and let's get on into it here. Okay, so first question was, which Carolina Panther player coming off an injury has the most to prove? Okay, so the options were Austin Corbett, J.C. Horn, Brady Christensen, Shaq Thompson. Okay, as you can see on X, nobody thought it was Christensen or Shaq Thompson. It was 86% for J.C. Horn and 13 for Austin Corbett. On YouTube, 22% for Austin Corbett, 74 for J.C. Horn, 3 for Brady Christensen, and 1 for Shaq Thompson. Excuse me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up here and uh discuss this with us. Let me make sure I drop the link in the right spot over here. All right, there we go. But Tony, I'm gonna let you go first on this one, man. Who do you think?
I would say for me, I would say Austin Corbett. And why do
Mhm,
I say that? Because the center position is one of the biggest needs I feel like that we had going into free agency in the draft. And I don't feel like it was addressed. And now we're talking, we're moving Austin Corbett from right guard to center position, a position that I don't believe that he's played since he was in Cleveland. And I don't think, if correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think
mhm,
he has started an NFL game at center. I know most of the time these centers, these guards are they get work at center, during OTAs, mini camp, stuff like this, just in case. But
mhm.
again, coming off two major knee injuries, a torn ACL and a sprained MCL. We saw what happened to him last year when, in my opinion, I don't think he was 100% ready to come back. He was
Yeah.
looking kind of stiff, and that
Mhm,
stiffness caught up with him. Um, so then he missed the rest of the season last year. So now you go out and you spend all this money on your two guard positions, the left guard and the right guard. But you
mhm.
got rid of your starting center last year, and you're replacing him with someone that's coming off two major knee surgeries. I don't think that bodes well for Carolina. And the reason why I say I think he has the most to prove, because he hasn't proved anything at the center position since he's been in the NFL. So that,
Mhm.
even though it's right next door to him, center
Yeah.
and guard, is still a new position. Now he is the captain of the offense. Now he's responsible for making all the calls, getting the protection right, make sure the other four guys, you know, um, have their alignment and their assignments right. So there's gonna be a lot on his plate, along with staying healthy, because we still don't really know who's going to be the true number two behind him. We know Brady Christensen is getting work. They still have
Mhm.
K is there, but they
Yeah.
haven't said who's going to be the quote unquote backup to Austin Corbett. So there's so much tied into that position. And if you want to keep Bryce healthy, keep him upright so he can reach the level that we all feel like he can reach, Austin Corbett gonna have to show and prove. So that would be my pick.
Okay. In fact, now I do agree with you. And like you said, he has to show that he can be valuable and be a true center. Because now with J.C. Horn, now he won the polls, by he ran away with both of them. But the one thing I'll say about J.C. Horn, he doesn't have to prove that he can play his position. He has to prove
Right.
that he can stay healthy. Okay, if he
I
has a
agree.
little bit of luck on his side, and he also said he's doing things a little differently this year, as for I think preparing, for the season, his workouts, maybe his meals, or how whatever, whatever his regimen is. Like I said, he doesn't have to prove that he's a good cornerback. He just has to stay healthy. Okay, so I think Austin
Right.
Corbett, like you said, does have the most to prove. But and I would say don't forget about Shaq Thompson in all of this too, because we've said for a while that we don't think Shaq Thompson was the right fit to be that middle linebacker. In the Evero scheme,
Right.
excuse me, and in the scheme before that. Okay. So being that I think this is the last year on his contract, and he come out there, stay healthy, play a whole season and prove to the Panthers, hey, next year, I'm only 30 years old. Next year, y'all need to bring me back. Go ahead and sign me up for an extension. Give me another 2 years. And let's run this thing back and let's keep it going. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
or will he go out there and not necessarily? I don't think Shaq's gonna stink it up, but is he gonna go out there and play to the right level? You know what I mean? Like if he can keep it about here, he's good. But if he goes out and has like an season, he's average, slightly below average. The Panthers may move on from him next year. You know,
Well,
and you
he
also got to throw in the fact that Evero, the majority of football fans, Panther fans, think that if Evero goes out there and has another decent season like he did this past season, next coaching availability, coaching spot that comes open, he gone. So
yeah.
but go
Yeah,
ahead, son, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say that Shaq has really anything to prove to anybody but himself. Um,
Mhm.
I think a lot was put on Shaq to take over for Luke Kuechly when he's not a Luke Kuechly type. He's not a true
Back.
middle linebacker. Shaq plays safety,
Mhm.
switched to linebacker, and played some running back at the University of Washington. He was undersized to be a linebacker. He did just like what Thomas Davis did coming out of Georgia when he would move from safety to linebacker because of his instincts, his tackling ability, and his speed of playing off ball coverage. That's where
Mhm.
Shaq Thompson thrives at. So put him back into his natural position. I think you're going to get the best production out of Shaq. I think Shaq tried to beef up because they needed him to play middle linebacker. And he's not going to say it, but it made him look uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable out there. He didn't do the type of things that most middle linebackers are willing to do. So
Mhm.
having Josie Jewell now to play that middle linebacker position and Shaq can transition back to playing off ball linebacker, I think that bodes well, not only just for him, but for the linebacking core as a unit.
Yeah. Okay, and not to forget about Brady Christensen and all this too. Okay, so he was a starting guard last year. He probably will not be the starting guard. He's been getting reps as the backup center. But you got to think about, like we said, it's paramount for Austin Corbett to come in, stay healthy, and do good, so that if Brady Christensen is called upon, hopefully he's called upon later on in the season. All right, God forbid we go out there in the first couple games or in the preseason, something happens to Austin Corbett, and then our next option is Brady Christensen and Cade Mays. Okay, and we had high hopes for Cade Mays coming out of Tennessee, but we've seen him mostly at the guard spots when he's had playing time, during the regular season. The only time I've ever seen him play center, I think, is in preseason you know. But hopefully Brady Christensen doesn't have to, be tossed into the fire per se,
Right.
so quick. But I think he's also very valuable as a backup to Damian Lewis, to Robert Hunt. And just say the off chance that we get thin on tackles for some reason, he may be able to still go out and play, left or right tackle. So we'll see. Let
I
me
mean,
welcome
we
Mr. Hunky Dory. How you doing, sir?
we hold on before Mr. Hungadori speaks. But yeah, we brought in two free agent swing tackles that I think
Mhm.
can hold down either tackle position. But going back to what I was saying, why I was so paramount about the center position. So now we're talking about Brady. So first we're talking about Austin Corbett, who hasn't played
Mhm.
center since training camp with the Cleveland Browns. He didn't come into the league as a center. He came in as a guard from the University of Nevada, and has played right guard basically his whole time in the league. Brady Christensen was a 3-year starter at left tackle at BYU, has not played center at all. So now you talking about
Mhm.
him being your backup center. So not only does your starter, but also your backup, none of them has experience in the league playing center. Center is not either one of their natural positions. So that's
Mhm.
why I say that center position is so paramount, and God willing, it works out in our favor, and those guys stay healthy, especially Austin Corbett, and
Mhm.
they can man the middle of that field of that O
Hey,
line.
and if you look at the thumbnail that I put up, okay, let me tell you, this is the first footage that I've seen of Austin Corbett playing center. I have not
Hmm.
found any footage of him, playing in that preseason for or training camp for the Browns or whatever. When I saw this picture, I was like, okay, bet I'm going to use this. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is the
they
first I've
they
seen
say
that.
they said so far the connection between Bryce Young and Austin Corbett has been seamless. You know, there hasn't been any fumble snaps or anything like that. But again,
Mhm.
this is just OTAs. There's no
Yep.
live bullets. You know, ain't nobody out there banging pads. You know,
Mhm.
there's nothing on the line right now. You want to see that they building a good chemistry and getting their building, getting that continuity, that fluidity down pat. So when it does come time, for those live bullets to start flying, they got everything together. But
Yeah.
just right now, I take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Hey, and like they just said, JPJ was there for the picking. Hell, he was there.
Yes, sir.
Frazier was there. What's my
Yeah.
man from Arkansas? In the later
Van,
round, Van Pran,
Bortolini,
Bo, yeah, Taylor Bortolini.
Bortolini from
Oh, who?
Arkansas, Van Pran from Georgia.
I thought Bortolini was from Wisconsin. There was somebody else from Arkansas, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was Van
That's right.
Trent.
You're right. Bortolini's Wisconsin. I can't remember the
Uh,
guy from
yeah,
Arkansas.
both something I think. Yeah, but yeah, there was a
Yeah.
lot of them, and they passed on all of them. Mister Hunky Dory, how you doing, sir? Can you hear us?
I'm sorry. I had myself on mute
Okay.
being polite. I was saying it's been broiling down here in Tampa. It was like
Oh, I
95
bet.
today. Ooh, wee, man. Man, losing
Mm.
weight. Can't even eat it. You get so hot you don't want to eat.
Ugh,
But
God Almighty.
yeah, you know how it is. I mean, everybody hot this time of year, man. Summer's here. Summer's here. But
Pretty much.
you're going back to who has the most to prove, And I
Mhm.
agree with both of you. With Cobra has the most to prove because of his injury, and I'm a big thing about the risk. You know what I mean? J.C.
Yeah.
Horn, according to Draft Sharks, only has a 41.5% chance of being injured, and he's only projected to miss one game this year.
Mhm.
Corbett, Corbett, on the other hand, has an 87% chance of missing 5 to 6 games this year because of injury.
Good Lord.
And
Mm.
yeah, that's because of all his injuries, the type of movements that a center has to make, the
Mhm.
type of blocks that the center has to make, and it's all based on the type of injuries he has, right?
Yeah.
And that's where they get their risk analysis from. And on the other hand, J.C. Horn, like I said, he only has a 41.5, and he's only projected to miss one game. So that tells you that yes, Corbett has a lot to prove, not because of talent, it's because of his prior injuries. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what scares me the most. And like we're discussing, what's our backup? I mean, really, what is our backup? Uh,
Yeah.
Center's not a type of position. It's a plug and play. You know what I mean? That somebody, oh, we can get him in practice. He can get a few reps in. We'll hold off. Center is what anchors the whole line. From that
Mhm.
perspective,
Right.
and we're in trouble. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, that could be our make or break of the whole season. Not the rest of the team, not Bryce, but
Yeah.
the center position. And I believe that's going to be the make or break of the team this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and
Well, we
Twan
had
John versus everybody. What's going on, play? How you doing, man?
what's
Good
up,
to see you.
Twan? What's good with you, my guy? Well, with the center position, man, like CJ mentioned a few minutes ago, we had an opportunity to draft 3 or 4 potential day one starters at centers,
I've been 5 or
guys
6.
that have played a high level amount of football at at the center position, whether it's JPJ, Van Pran, Frazier, Borderline out of Wisconsin, the other gentleman out of Arkansas. all those guys had 2, 3 year starters at center. So
Mhm.
you talking about uh hitching the responsibility of being a starting center to a guy that's coming off two major knee injuries when you could have drafted a potential Pro Bowl or All Pro 3 or 4 times. That to
Super
me,
Bowl
that's
limber.
the head scratcher. Even if they sat a year behind Austin Corbett, you still had a
Mhm.
backup in place, and for somebody to come in that can step in for the next 5 or 10 years, because this is Austin Corbett's last year of his contract.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
tell me something. If you were the opposing defense, where would you attack first? Where would you attack
Yeah.
first?
Austin
Austin,
Corbett,
straight up,
baby.
Yeah,
the
Yep.
right at the beginning of the game. If
Mhm.
you could get him to buck on in the first part of that game, when we play the Saints, I guarantee the Saints are going to be hitting that A and B gap, just trying to get him to move from side to
for
side, but buckle them knees. I guarantee it. They're going to
for
shove
for,
him back.
for
Go ahead.
forget the Saints. Talking about Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Shoot.
It's coming.
Let
Yeah.
what's the name coming straight up the middle
Vita
in that
Vea.
zero from that zero technique. Man,
Yeah.
shoot.
Big Vita Vea. Yep.
Yeah, let me. Hey,
Yes, sir.
That's the
if
problem.
one can't move you, I want to send two. I want to see how strong you can hold him. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's as soon as he takes that stance and he buckles them knees down and puts that hip down to block two people at once or one person, I
Mhm.
want to see how much it can hold right off the bat. And knowing it's the
Yeah.
first or
Yeah.
second game, you're gonna know he hasn't had that what do you call that real game experience. He's had practice and everything else, but that real game experience where everybody's putting full effort into that game. You're gonna come at him.
Mhm.
I want to see if that knee wiggles, and I want to see if the
Yeah.
other one wiggles. And
Mhm.
uh, that's the only concern really right now I have. I don't have a concern about Bryce or the other people or anything else. I believe that Icky's going to do a little bit better or so on. He's getting the reps in, so we got new people everywhere. But that is the major focal point. And like Diggett said, the buffet was there, all the meat was there. We let all the meat go. Now we got nothing.
We got sides. We left with potato salad and string beans
And corn, always corn.
and corn.
Oh
Take
But yeah,
man.
hey,
potato
but you know
salad
what
with
though?
raisins in it.
Oh Lord. Go ahead, Miss Hunky Door.
Yeah, but tell me, other than rehabilitation and strengthening, your quads and your hamstrings, your calf, your muscles, there's not much else you can do to improve the scar tissue and everything else. There's nothing, you know what I mean? You can only strengthen
Mhm.
the muscles around it, but that the tears and surgeries that he had, there's nothing really more you can do, And has he had enough time for the tendons to solidify inside the bone and everything else, create that extra calcium buildup that they do after one tears or so on?
Mhm.
Is we say it's good to go. You do MRIs and CAT scans and so on, but like I said, hey, I won't put it on them. I won't put it on them. I gotta
Yeah.
watch. And OTAs and spring practice ain't going to show me nothing. You know what I mean? It's going to have to be when we actually get into the preseason, we put him in there against people that actually doing stuff. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
and in the first two games, that's really where we're going to see it.
Yeah. And and I
Facts.
was gonna say, Mr. Hunky Door, we ain't even gotta wait till the regular season. Just think about we get into the first preseason game and he gets in there. And just say it's a situation like last year where Bryce Young and the first team offense started off against the Jets second team defense. Okay. So just say you got somebody young, lined up in front of Austin Corbett trying to prove something, trying to make sure they solidify their spot, on that opposing team's roster. They don't care if this is his first time playing center or whatever. They going at him. So he's gonna get tested off the jump. I don't think we're gonna have to wait too long to see exactly what Austin Corbett is gonna do at the center spot. So
He may not make
but
it
yeah,
out of. He may not make it out of OTAs or mandatory camp coming up. He may not make it out. And
let's hope he does.
when I yeah, pray the Lord, When I saw the 87%, I was like, holy smokes. And, like I said, it's on Draft Sharks and they got a list of everybody. You go down and put whoever's name
Mhm.
in it for their injury and it shows their injury history. And it shows projections of all the injuries associated with other players who have had them. And it shows the timeout and it averages them out. That's how they get these stats, right? And they put it
Mhm.
all together. He has an 87% chance of missing 5 to 6 games this year, and
Mm.
because of the injuries. JC Horn has a 41% chance of missing 1 game. That tells you something, for the type of injury based on every player that's been in the NFL for the last 25 years, right? They've done this
Mhm.
analysis and so on. That's a pretty harsh. You got an 86% chance of the sun falling on your head. There you go. That tells you something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Hey, well, hold on, y'all. Okay, thank you, Deshante Bryant, for the $10 super chat. He said, "What's up, fellas? Cousin Caesar, I see you decided not to show the guns this evening. You know what? I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring them back out on Saturday. Okay, yeah.
Tell him,
I
babe.
I I, I promise you, I forgot all about that. All about it. Yes. Okay. Yes. The gun show will be back on Saturday, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stop by and check it out. All right. But thank you,
You know,
Shante. We appreciate you.
hey, Shantae, he's coming out with a farmer tan. He gonna be real dark on the outside and lift the shirt up a little bit, be like, light
Hey,
skin underneath.
hey,
It's
look,
coming.
look at my arm here. You see a big tan line I got on my arm right there? But hold on, hey, but you know what the craziest thing is though? Speaking of tan, I I had when I first got a pair of Crocs and I was wearing them outside and all this and that. Man, I came in the house and all I saw was them little damn dots on my foot where the sun had been tanning, my foot in the little holes of the Croc shoes. But yeah, man, but yeah, look at her. She laughing.
Yeah,
Oh, but
that
yeah.
that's my wife. Everybody, that's my wife.
Thank you, Shantae. We appreciate you. All right. Well, let's move on to the next question. All right. So the next poll I put out was which position group for the Carolina Panthers will be most improved this upcoming season? And the choices were offensive line, defensive line, wide receivers, and outside linebacker. Okay. And I chose the outside linebackers to add to this group because I think, let me see, Frankie and the combination of Deion Jones and Grugier Hill. I think they did okay, but they're all gone. I think the secondary did did good last year. And I think, barring another injury from JC Horn, which I hope he doesn't get, I think they'll be okay too. But everybody voted, and offensive line on X and on YouTube seemed to be the overwhelming favorite to be the most improved. I'm going to go completely against, excuse me, the grain on this one, and I'm going to say that the outside linebacker slash edge rushers may be the most improved this season because now no shade against Brian Burns at all. I wish he was still here, but a healthy DJ Wonham and Jadeveon Clowney. Now I think you got two competent, outside linebacker slash edge rushers that the offense can't be like, okay, well, as long as we stop this dude over here, we don't have anything really to worry about coming from the other side. Because last year we had what's YGM and oh goodness, who was the other one? Justin Houston, who
Yeah,
turned out
Justin.
to be, I ain't gonna say a flop, but he didn't really pan out. So
He,
there was
he was a flop. It was a dud.
yeah,
It was a dud flop. Yeah, all that.
yeah. Yeah, okay, all right. Echo Leota, whatever his name was, he came off the edge at times as well. Amari Barno, it was a combination of players that was on the other side of Brian Burns, and I think YGM had the most sacks out of him with like what three maybe 2 or 3, something like that.
Hey, you
So,
still got the future All Pro DJ Johnson.
but the thing is, he didn't even play enough for me to remember that he was out there playing.
Oh, I was being
So
sarcastic. I
I
was
know you
truly
were.
being sarcastic.
I know you were. I know you were. You know. but what I'm trying to say is, and Diggy said outside and said, CJ, you a wild man. Hey, you know what? I'm trying to go against the grain a little bit here. Trying to go against the grain a little bit here on this one. I thought about this one just a little bit. Okay, Woonham had 8 sacks last year. Clowney had 9 or 9.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Nine and a
So
half.
yeah, just think, just think for a second, everybody. If we can get that same type of pressure on the opposing quarterbacks this year, okay, opposed to what we got, the pressure that we got on them last season. Okay. Um, Brian
Right.
Burns, he had a good first game of the season last year, and then it was hit or miss, what he was doing for the rest of the year. And I'm not going to put that all on him and say that it was because of his lack of effort or his lack of talent or anything like that. But it may have been a contributing factor of who he had on the other side of the field from him when if the team has to focus on Brian Burns and they know that whoever they got on that, what was it? You see that right side, they're good with whoever Carolina is sending. You know, hey, but that's just my thoughts. Outside linebacker, that's I'm bucking the trend on this one, and I'm gonna say outside linebacker. All right, what
Go
Tony,
ahead, Mr.
what
Hunky
y'all
Dory.
got?
Go ahead, Mr.
Uh,
Hunky Dory.
well, like KFC, I always get the combo. You know, I just can't get one thing. I got to get the combo. Now the wide receivers, the offensive line, they help each other out. Offensive line is definitely improved. We're going to see better blocking. We're going to see better wide receivers. We're going as a whole. I think they work together. A combo. Defensive line, outside
Mhm,
linebackers, edge. They work as a combo. We're going to see improved pressure. And we're going to see improved that linebacker play combo. Like I said, all we need is dessert right now to see them on the field all to come together. But to CJ's point, I think he is correct. More pressure, more pressure, more pressure than last year. That's exactly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at better
mhm,
linebacker play. I'm looking at better defensive line play. They can't just sit there and say, "Hey, we got this one person we got to worry about." Now we got other people we got to worry about. Also, we have a better linebacker coming in now with Jewel. He can run up that gap. You know what I mean? Somebody's not paying attention. Pow! He's up that gap. You know what I mean? He's going to hit that running back coming through. Like I said, it's just like the other teams did to Bryce last year. Had pressure coming from every direction, and that's what I see this year. I see we see good pressure. We're going to collapse that. We're going to collapse them, and hopefully we're going to cause confusion. And exactly what we want to do as a defense is cause confusion. Uh,
mhm,
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I was kind of torn going back and forth between defensive line and offensive line. I think because I think with the offensive line, I think everybody knows what what needed, what was wrong last year, and what we needed to do to correct those wrongs this year. And we got two out of the three. Just like I said, like I just mentioned earlier, talking about Austin Corbett and Brady Christensen in that center position, that is going to be
mhm,
my number one thing to watch out for in training camp, uh, and into the regular season is that center position because I think that is paramount in determining how healthy and how productive Bryce Young can be going forward this year because the interior of the offensive line from guard center to guard is more important than both tackle positions. If you can stop the pressure from coming straight up the middle, because what's the fastest way to the quarterback? Straight up the middle. So if you
mhm,
can eliminate that and create a pocket to where he can throw the ball. If he has to step up into the pocket, he can step up into the pocket instead of having a defensive tackle or a nose guard in his lap each time he get ready to release the ball. So because the offensive line was so dismal last year and there was so much um I mean, it was just horrible. Let me just say it
mhm.
like that. The offensive line was just horrible. Like CJ say, dumpster juice trash. That's what the offensive line last year. So
Yep,
taking into account
out of gallon.
the moves that we made this year at the two guard positions. Now we just hope that the center position can solidify the whole offensive line. So that's the group that I think is that needs to be the most improved going to the season.
Hey,
Well,
and I will add make sure I show a little bit of love to the defensive line too. And that's why I think the outside linebackers may flourish as well, because you think about it. Ashawn Robinson, Derek Brown. I think the jury's still out on Shy Tuttle, but we did draft what's his name? Jaden
They got a
Crumley,
warrant out for
and
him.
and we did draft Jaden Crumley, who looks like at the very least he can hold his position. Okay, you still got what's my man name? Nick Thurman and
Yeah,
what's the other guy's
LeBron,
name?
right?
The Brian Ray. So we'll see. I think it all depends on Derek Brown is going to be Derek Brown. Ashawn Robinson already said he is not a nose tackle. He's going to play defensive end. I think he'll be okay. All right. Well, whoever plays that nose tackle, I think that's going to be key for us. But if those three gentlemen on that defensive line can get kind of like Mr. Hunky Dory said, collapse that pocket a little bit. Just like Bryce, like he said last year, Bryce, his guards and his center was in his face constantly throughout the season. If Derek Brown, Ashawn Robinson, and whoever is our starting nose tackle or whatever rotation they feel like they can put in there. If they can, ain't necessarily duplicate what everybody did to us, but if they can get some pressure, hold that pocket, make it uncomfortable for the other quarterback, and give those give those outside linebackers slash edge rushers, time, to get to the quarterback, we may see a different defense. But yeah.
um,
Yes,
if we
sir.
can if we can get to the point of pressure on defense to where we can cause that 2.7 seconds for the quarterback to go up to 3.5 or better, we've done a great
Hmm.
job. You know what I mean? That way, the receivers they're out of their first and second breaks, and they're already coming back. If we can force
Yeah.
receivers to start coming back on a third step, we've done marvelous. Last year we did it. We couldn't even do that. They were breaking on the first step, their first move, and they were
Hmm.
catching the ball and gone. We had no
Oh.
pressure out there, and it showed. Um, Also, like he said, collapsing like Tony was saying, two guards, $150 million, a small pocket adds milliseconds, and milliseconds allows you to get rid of the ball. It allows you to look one more time for open receiver and get it to them. Milliseconds, just a small little step up. You know what I mean? Last year it looked like
Hmm.
an umbrella the way it was collapsing, all the hands over top as it collapsed. Bryce couldn't throw it up, he had an umbrella. You know what I mean? Over top of him, hands and so on. But that makes a huge difference. But the one good thing, if you look at Kansas City's line, whenever it collapsed, um, the quarterback would move backwards or side to side. We got great outside edge rushers now. That will help uh, keep that quarterback from moving side to side. We don't want him to get out and open, where the quarterback can run or get out and run to left or right and throw a pass. You know what I mean? That's why I like Wenham and I like Clowney. They got the speed to get that way. You know what I mean? And it's going to show.
Okay. Fact. Fact. All right. Cool. He said, "Hey, he wilding tonight." Sure.
Oh
Hey,
God.
let me tell you, I hope all the best for him. But Michael Bear is going to be on special teams, buddy.
Hey, but you know what though? Hey,
Look at.
CJ,
Uh huh.
yeah, like you said, anything is possible. Now, what if it happens? Well, I'm just saying, what if? What if?
Hey,
You know,
let me tell you, I
you,
will. I
you
will come back.
never
I will
know.
clip. You
According to
never know.
CJ
I will
Bryant,
come back.
you never know.
I will come back. I will clip this, and I will give Dig it his props wholeheartedly. Austin,
Tell
hey,
me he
what's
been
going on,
hacked.
Austin? How you doing, man? Salute, brother.
What's good,
What's going
Austin?
on?
What's happening, my
All
guy?
right. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the final question here. And also, thank you for everybody. If you took part in the poll, we really appreciate it. And before we get to the last one again, like Tony said, like Tony mentioned earlier, 53 people in here between X and YouTube. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It'll help us with the YouTube algorithm. Like us on X, like us on all social media, Two Fans in the Stands. Subscribe to the channel. We love and thank each and every one of you, and we appreciate you. Okay. All right.
And if you're on Twix, do us a favor, go over to YouTube and subscribe to us. Turn the post notification bell so you'll be made aware whenever we go live or drop new content. We are going to start back doing more videos here shortly. So you want to make sure you're aware of that.
All right. Appreciate it. So, last question. Which Carolina Panthers player needs a bounce back season the most? Okay. So the choices were Miles Sanders, Icky, and Shy Tuttle. Okay. I'll let y'all gentlemen go first. Well, hold on before I do. So Icky was the overwhelming winner on the poll on X and on YouTube, followed by Miles Sanders, and bringing up the rear, just barely, with I think maybe one vote was was Shy Tuttle. Hello, and before y'all go, Digit with the 999 super chat. Hey man, we thank you and appreciate. He said for
Appreciate
the
it,
work
dig it.
and excellent effort. Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate that. We
Appreciate it,
definitely
my guy.
appreciate
We
that.
we greatly
You know,
appreciate that.
we try to serve the good folks that watch us and yeah, man, we appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no
All
doubt.
right,
No doubt.
yeah, yeah, stuff like that just make you feel good. I'm sorry, I had to say that. I appreciate you. All right, so Icky, Miles Sanders, Shy Tuttle. Y'all go ahead and go first. Y'all thoughts on that.
Go ahead, Mr. Hunky Dory.
Oh man,
Austin right there.
man, it's
All
like
of
me,
them.
always first, man. It's like I'm choosing from the ugly women on the wall. You first, Mister. They all ugly. They all ugly. Oh man.
Hey, but but the good thing about it though is you get to go first, so you get to pick the best of the ugly. You
The best of the
know what
Oh,
I'm
ugly.
saying?
best of the ugly. Man, let
Wow.
me drink. Let me drink a little bit more. But nah, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with Shy Tuttle. I know he's on the retirement season. You know what I mean? It's what I call it, retirement year. But he has a lot
Hmm.
to he has a lot to show. Last year he was a water balloon without water in it, or half filled. You know, like you tied it wrong. When you went to throw it, all the water was leaking out. You had a little half balloon. He turned into the skinniest person on the field. He went from a lineman to a I don't know a receiver. That's how small he got. You know, and I think he has a lot to prove for a bounce back season. So he goes in retirement as saying he was a great player instead of just a player. Uh, the way he played last year, he's going to be forgotten in time. His name's not going to be mentioned. And that's how badly he played. Miles Sanders has so much talent, but he last year he flopped, and I think partly it was because of the coaching and the plays we had were not set up for him, and we didn't have the type of guards or tackles to open up running lanes for him, or blocking tight ends and receivers to open up proper lanes for that type of runner to go through. Icky, I give Icky full credit. You know what I mean? That happens. You have a sophomore slump. You come in and boop, yeah, you pretty much just and he admits it. Hey, I had a problem last year. He panicked. The whole team was panicking last year, and I think that's what happened to him is that he was overwhelmed. And it showed in every game, and I blame it on the coaching staff because you didn't see him on the sideline. Veteran play coming in, coaching the young people, even though it's second year, still needed coaching. Um, but yeah, bounce back season. Shy Tuttle for me, number one. The rest have proven that they can play. Shy Tuttle proved that he was a player, but last year was awful. It was beyond Icky bad. It was beyond Miles bad, and it was worse than Houston.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
For me, I'm gonna go with Icky. For all the reasons that you just mentioned, Mr. Hunky Dory, for all the reasons that we have stated about Icky and what he went through last year. Because he was the sixth overall, pick in 2022. He is our starting left tackle. So it's paramount that he have a bounce back year because he protects Bryce blindside. So, like you said, for all those things that we've been mentioning about Icky and everything that you just said, Mr. Hunky Dory, That's my choice.
Okay,
Go ahead,
gotcha.
CJ.
Hey, I'm gonna go Shy Tuttle as well because I think, especially with what Icky said today, we all saw in his rookie year that he got the business his first couple games, but he settled in and he had a solid rookie season. Okay. We don't know what kind of turmoil the coaching staff was in. It seems like he may not have felt comfortable going to the coaches, or like he said, he was riding the waves or the success of his rookie year a little bit too much. Maybe he didn't feel like he needed to, but
Right,
it
right.
kind of begs the question at one point, at what point it's like, all right, I done gave up 3 sacks today. Let me go holler at somebody. I need some help. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do believe that Icky will do better in this system. Okay. Miles Sanders, he dealt with some injuries last year. Running lanes were,
Facts.
at a premium depending on what game we were playing in. Chuba Hubbard did good, had almost 1,000 yards, well, a little over 900 yards. But we've
Big
seen what
facts.
Miles Sanders can do. Okay, so it's not merely a question of has he ever been good or he's never proved himself. Mind you, he did have one hell of an offensive line up in Philly, but I think with the right system and our offensive line, if they can step their game up, open up some holes, I think Miles Sanders will get his chance. But like Mr. Hunky Dory said about Shy Tuttle, he turned sideways and disappeared a lot last season. And for me,
Yeah.
I want to see, because I've said this before. I think this was his first time in a 3-4 defense. Okay, so I want to see if it was more so on him, or is it more so, this was his first time. He didn't quite get used to the system. Maybe he's done something in the off season, to improve his technique, work on his game, watch film, see his mistakes, try to improve on them. Maybe it's a thing like that, because that is the anchor in the middle of that defensive line. And being that Derek Brown and Ashawn Robinson are both, 6 foot, 30 inches tall and 330 pounds, and then you got Shy Tuttle that's like what, 6'2", barely over 300. You got to go out there and show and prove. And at the same time, we've also realized that Evero does seems to not prefer, like a really big bulky guy at that nose
Right.
tackle spot. But whatever Shy Tuttle has to do to improve on last season, he has to do it. But I think out of this list, he needs to have the bounce back season the most out of these three. Yeah.
But isn't that crazy about what isn't that crazy though with Shy Tuttle? He the smallest person on the defensive line. He playing nose tackle.
Playing nose tackle. Playing
Amen.
nose tackle. The ones on
Yep.
either side
Yeah.
of him are 330 apiece. And they
Right.
got him at like 6'1", 305. I'm like, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. That's
That's
crazy.
puzzled me too. That
But
has puzzled me too.
with Coach in the chat, you look at what Austin wrote. We have to remember that Coach was snitching on each other, and that was the fact.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I pointed it out several times. Every good team had the tablets on the sideline. They had coaching
Mhm.
staff in front of them. They had veteran players around each other. Had their small little groups, and they were coaching each other. All good teams were doing that last year. We didn't have that last year. We had coaches on the sideline who were visibly shaking with each other. They didn't like each other. We saw on the sideline where our players are sitting there. Just they were. I don't know how to put it. They were just sitting there. They weren't getting coached. They weren't having that veteran or rookie group. Saying, "Hey, I got this. This is what's happening. Watch him doing this and so on." I didn't see that. Very little. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
put a lot of that on the coaching staff, and it has ripple effects. And like in the army, you keep training. You always have training. You know what I mean? Because you develop bad habits, and through training, you get rid of bad habits. You know what I mean? And that goes back to
Right.
what I was talking about practice last year. We developed bad habits all the way through the season. Footwork with Bryce,
Bad.
blocking techniques with Icky, footwork with Icky. You know what I mean? It showed all the way through the season, and it was the same thing. And I blame that in with the coaches. You know what I mean? With our practices
Mhm.
and in-game management. And that's the biggest improvement I want to see is coaching. It's not on the list of players, but coaching, all around coaching, and also veteran input or player input on the sidelines. See them tablets out, see people talking, celebrate good moments, but also if you're having problems, try to take care of it then. You can't wait till practice. You're
Mm-hmm.
still in the game. Take care of it then.
Facts. Facts. Hey, and let
Facts.
me tell you, man, with Icky last year, I can just imagine how bad he would be trying to do the Cupid shuffle, dog. When that part on the song come on, to the left, or to the right, to the right.
Oh my
Let me
God,
say,
really?
when I say, no, hey, I'm coming back around to a point here. Just bear with me, y'all.
Okay.
But
All right.
when I say his his first step was terrible and so slow. If you go back and look at some of Icky's film when he got beat, before he could put his foot down, I guarantee you, defensive lineman already damn near to his shoulder, trying to duck up under him and get him around, and Icky is just watching the guy go by him like, crap, here we go again. That's why I say,
It's
hey,
dipping
maybe
real.
he needs to get good at the Cupid shuffle. We need to take the right out. He need to go straight to the left. Just keep practicing stepping out to the left. I'm serious, man. Go back and look at some of that tape. By the time Icky get that foot on the ground, it's over. Ball game. Yeah, he's
Mm-mm.
I,
done.
I hate to say it, Icky needs to learn the samba. You know what I mean? How they move with the samba. With the quick feet and move, 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 move. And I
Yes,
swear,
sir.
when he was NC State, they had them drills for the feet. You know what I mean? Quick moves, quick moves, quick moves, quick moves, like you see
Mm-hmm.
linebackers doing in between the cone drills. You know what I mean? In between the what do you call the foam layouts where they have five of them and they shuffle back and forth through them. You know what I mean? They move up
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I know you're
shuffle.
talking about.
shuffle drill. It's
Yeah,
shuffle
and
drill.
that absolutely would help him. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And you go from being light feet like a boxer to planting your feet for blocking. You know what I mean? And that's the best way I can say it. That's the best way I can say it. So
No,
yeah.
Oh
we
God.
laughing at Digit. He said, "Poor knock need Icky."
He is.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
He is.
my
yeah.
He's not
goodness.
neat as hell.
Man,
About like Kenny Smith.
Oh my God.
no comment.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah. No comment. Yeah. I'm with you on that, Mr. Honky Door.
I am.
No
Thank
comment
you,
on
sir.
that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Hey, but y'all, hey, I appreciate everybody. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us. And that was our last topic for the night. And yeah, as always, y'all make sure y'all check us out on social media, Two Fans in the Stands. Check us out over at Twix. That's our mixture of Twitter and X at Two Fans ITS. Mr. Hunky Dory, you got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
I wanted to mention your lights in the background. I like it. It's nice and mellow, dude. It's like a nice little chilling hut. You know what I mean? Just out there
Yeah,
relaxing.
See,
I'm waiting for
see
the
if I
I
get
dancer
got
any
to
the
pop
Goldie
props
out.
here.
light.
See if I get any props.
Yeah,
See if I get any
yeah.
props here.
I was going to say something else that I was going to think about popping out, but I just keep my money and my thoughts to myself.
Lord have mercy.
But yeah, yeah,
Oh
I was going to
God.
mess with you, but no, guys. God bless everybody. Take care of yourself. Watch yourself in this heat. You know, and
Yes,
that's all I can say.
yes.
Well, we'll see you on the next show.
All right,
No
appreciate
doubt.
you
No
joining.
doubt.
What you got, player?
Hey man, it was just good to be back talking Panther football. I know we had a little hiatus. We missed you guys Saturday, then Memorial Day
Mm-hmm.
weekend. There wasn't too much to talk about last week. We don't like to try to drum up or create things to talk about. We talk about things as it's happening. It's more authentic that way, in my opinion. But we're glad to see everybody back in the building, tune into us, showing us love, and show y'all love right back.
All right, appreciate you.
Go
And
ahead,
I
CJ.
agree with everything that Tony said. And also, I meant to say this earlier. But for Steven, if you're out there, I know a few weeks ago you told us you had you come recovering from brain surgery. Okay, I hope you're listening. I've been praying for you every day, and I haven't heard
No
from you.
doubt.
But I hope you're watching, or God, somebody knows him and get a message to him. Just tell him, hey, I'm still praying for him. I hope you come back and join us in the chat again. And
No
but
doubt.
yeah, I've been thinking about you, and I hope we hear from you again. I hope you're doing all right. Okay. But yeah, everybody, thank you for joining us. Like I said, just make sure you check us out, like the stream on your way out. We appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody that shows up, all the great comments, all the laughs, the jokes. We appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. And like
Oh, wait, wait,
all
wait, 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 wait. Before you do it, I just noticed what Mr. Hunky Dory had up on his name.
not the thicker kicker. Wow. Did not see that. Okay.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh, I just saw it.
Wow.
Oh my
Okay. See,
God. Go
hey,
ahead, man. My bad. My bad.
let me tell you. He said, if I see the gun Saturday, I won't be staying. Well, it's a good thing you came tonight. Good thing you came tonight, Big. Okay. Good thing you came tonight, buddy. Y'all keep talking about it. I'll make sure I bring them out. Austin, we appreciate you, man.
Oh
All right.
God.
But like I
The wife
always
must
try to
be
do,
going out of
everybody.
town.
Nah, she gonna be yelling at me in the house. But 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 like I always do, I want to take y'all out with three things. Number one, y'all be good. Number two, y'all be safe. And number three, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. We'll see you.
Peace.